Liverpool has always carried its history close to the surface. Beneath the bright glass of Liverpool One and the cheerful clatter of Bow Street cafés lies something older. A city built on trade, empire, music and loss. In the 18th and 19th centuries, Liverpool became one of the biggest and busiest ports in the world. Ships lined the Mersey in thick forests of masts. Cotton from America, sugar from the Caribbean, timber, tobacco, tea, and human beings. By the late 1700s, Liverpool dominated Britain's involvement in the transatlantic slave trade. More than 1.5 million enslaved Africans were transported on ships that sailed from these docks. The wealth built the city, the suffering stained it, and cities like that don't always forget. Some say time never quite settled properly here. It folds, it loosens, and sometimes, very quietly, it slips. Emma and Callum spent the afternoon wandering through record shops and independent bookstores along Bow Street. It was early autumn. The light was honey gold, pavements warm beneath their feet. They shared chips from a paper cone, laughed at nothing, argued gently about what film to watch that night. Bow Street was alive, music leaking from open doors, espresso machines hissing, a bus sighing at the curb. Ordinary, comfortably, beautifully ordinary. Then the air changed. Emma noticed it first. A thin metallic code brushed her ankles, sharp and unnatural, like a cellar door opening somewhere below the pavement. The sound of traffic softened, muted, as if cotton had pressed against her ears. "Do you hear that?" she asked. Callum frowned.
Hear what?
Because beneath the fading city noise, there was something else. Wood, rope, water against timber. They took 3 more steps forward. The street didn't explode into the past. It rearranged itself. The cafe across the road dulled. The glass fogged. Its bright signage faded like breath on a mirror. Neon signs blinked. The asphalt beneath their feet roughened, cobbled. The smell arrived fully now. Coal, smoke, tar, salt. Something sour beneath it. Rot. Behind them, the bus was gone. In its place stood a dray cart, wheels rimmed in mud. The driver wore coarse wool, his face shadowed beneath a cap. No engines, no guitar, only the clang of the ship's bell and gulls circling low over unseen docks. Liverpool in the mid-1800s was a city of staggering extremes. Grand merchant houses stood only streets away from overcrowded cellar dwellings. Families lived underground in damp, windowless rooms, some barely taller than a child. Typhus and cholera spread quickly in those suffocating spaces. Beneath the pavements of central Liverpool today, those cellars still exist, bricked up, forgotten. Emma felt that weight pressing upward through the stones.
"We need to go back,"
she whispered. They turned, but Bow Street no longer stretched forward. It sloped towards the docks, towards Mersey, towards history. Figures passed them in long coats and shawls, flat caps pulled low. No one looked surprised. It was as if Callum and Emma were the intruders. A poster flapped against a brick wall. Passage to New York, steam packet departing October 1848. The year famine migrants departed in their thousands. Liverpool watched them leave, some never to return. Then one dock worker stopped, turned, and looked directly at Emma. His eyes were pale, clouded like old glass. He held her in his gaze, too long. Slowly, he smiled. Emma pulled Callum into a narrow side alley. The bricks were slick, water dripped somewhere above. Laundry hung motionless between the buildings.
This is a time slip,
Callum muttered. Bow Street had stories, people stepping briefly into vanished eras. A bookshop that shouldn't exist. Traders where modern shoppers stood. But those stories ended quickly. A blink, a return. This wasn't blinking. This was staying. The dock worker stood at the alley mouth, blocking the exit. The air thickened. The sky darkened, as if the city was sinking into another layer. Because Liverpool has rebuilt itself more than once. Fires, demolitions, and in May 1941, during the Liverpool Blitz, bombs fell across the docks in the city centre. Warehouses burned for days, entire streets vanished overnight. Layer over layer, century over century. What if sometimes the layers misalign? Emma understood first.
This street doesn't just slip,
She whispered.
it layers.
She squeezed her eyes shut.
Think of now, the cafe, the bus, the music.
The dock worker's smile widened. The gas lights spluttered. Callum closed his eyes too. They focused on modern things, traffic lights, mobile phones, the taste of salt and vinegar. There had been music. Emma hummed it. At first, absurd. Then, the creaking faded. Coal smoke thinned. The alley brightened. A bus horn blared. Emma's eyes snapped open. They stood in the middle of Bow Street. Modern, busy, alive. A cyclist swerved by them and swore. Clean brick, bright signage, no soot. They were shaking, but they were here. They never told anyone. Weeks later, Emma returned alone. Just once. Bow Street was bright, familiar, safe. She walked slowly, carefully. As she passed the narrow side alley, there it was again. That thin, metallic code. She didn't look. She didn't step closer. But from somewhere behind her, and beneath it, the faint murmur of a voice that did not belong to this century. Liverpool has always carried its history close to the surface. Most days it stayed where it should. But sometimes, when the air grows still and the street feels slightly wrong, it waits. And if you stand in the wrong place long enough, it might let you through.